This video is brought to you by Straight Goods News, Canada's alternative online news source. Visit straightgoods.ca.
This is not the first time, but this is the worst time. The number of measures that are going to fundamentally change how Canada works and doesn't work, in fact, are all in this budget bill. It's an abuse of their power. It's an abuse of this mechanism, and the government knows it. If they had confidence in each of these measures, cutting back on retirement for Canadians, on stripping down environmental legislation, on getting rid of pay equity in Canada, if they had any confidence on any of those measures, they would break them apart. And that is what we're asking the government to do, is to have separate conversations about each of these fundamental aspects to how our economy and society work. The fact that they've lumped them into an omnibus bill is hiding their true agenda, the true fact of what they're up to.
So why not try to slow it down?
We're looking at every measure we can. The first stages we've offered, I've spoken to the government House Leader and said, let's do the right thing. Let's do right by Canadians. You have no mandate for any of these things. We didn't speak about them in the last election cycle. You certainly didn't speak about them even in the budget itself. So now you're adding on all of these, what we think are extremely dangerous measures to Canadian society and the governance. So let's have the separation of these conversations so that Canadians can actually understand and that MPs from all sides of the House can do our work.
So what was the response you got?
The response so far is that the government feels confident with what they're doing. They feel that this majority gives them the mandate to do whatever it is that they want, but that's not in fact true. Less than 40% of voting Canadians voted for these guys. It did not vote for this. It did not vote for a Conservative majority government that was going to abuse its powers and abuse this place. The House of Commons functions when we all respect the rules of the House. So let's the government respect the
Responsible Resource Management, 154 pages. There'll be a separate subcommittee of the Finance Committee, and they're saying, at least on Monday, the House Leader was saying, you can sub in people, you're experts on the environment, you can sub them in, and they can sit on that subcommittee, and they can have do due diligence and all that. They don't see a problem.
Experience is going to win out over hope. We've watched how these guys manipulate the committee process, in finance in particular, restricting who can come to the table and who can't. If they're suddenly saying they want to have a free and democratic debate about these implications, then send them to the right committee. Why is the Finance Committee talking about women's rights and pay equity? Why is the Finance Committee talking about the environment? Why is the Finance Committee suddenly going to be talking about this whole suite of things that they have no expertise or experience on? The reason we design committees in the first place is to have that expertise there.